So, Michael, you're second to last to be introduced to my audience.
Second to
Professor
last?
Addy will be last.
But I'm the director. Shouldn't we save the best for last? Especially since we didn't make me first.
There is no order. I'm just putting you to view out
But I'm the
there.
director. I'm the most important one here.
What? Excuse me.
Listen, you are the star of the show, and everyone is going to love you, especially under my direction.
I am not just the star of the show. I am also the creator of all this. The writer, the producer. I do all the music, and I created you. I say who goes when.
You are the mastermind. So fantastic.
Don't patronize me.
I'm not patronizing you. You created all of this. You're really amazing. What?
This is my dad, Dennis Alexander. Same name. Not a junior, though.
It was a lot of fun trying to figure that out. It just causes problems later on.
I didn't like my middle name, so I caused the problems.
Yep.
So Xenonic Roots is me and my 4 alter egos. That one was Michael A. Smitty, director. I came up with him about a decade ago and actually did film some stuff back then. And this is my first time showing you some of that footage. Are we ready now? Okay. Lights, action. Hold on. Camera. Ready? Okay. Action. Oh, that's me. Anyway, this is the second part on my 2-part series on my first song. The first song I ever uttered was in the first part. Go see that one if you haven't yet, because some of this may be a little confusing. Just a little teaser. I didn't sing my first song. I hummed it. I hummed it before I found my words. My music came before my speech. In this video, part 2 will be about the first song that I played on a musical instrument. And in the conclusion of this video, I will show you how these 2 songs mesh very deeply in a fascinating yet tragic way. Just real quick, some of the topics that I want to get to in the future. Things like, get my glasses, I can't read. There's my I Come in Pieces series, where I talk about my anxiety, my depression, my complex post-traumatic stress disorder, my autism, my ADHD, my physical damage, my utterly bad, crazy story of how I came to be in existence. The Xenonic Roots business plan. I want to make a music video for that. It's a very short song. It'll be one of the first ones I copyright too, because I want it on the website. And a review of my 4 alter egos, and how copyright is so wrong. All these topics are intricately interconnected, and they all define what Xenonic Roots is. I have tons recorded, tons written, very little edited, and it'd be great if I could figure out how to get a team, if that were possible. Especially with the editing. I hate the editing. And like I said in part 1, the video after this is profound. I'm going to try and do the funny ones in between the long commentaries, but there's some very shocking accusations made about me, and I need to address them. And it's like core to the whole Xenonic Roots thing, to my life. Yeah, I'm going to be pointing the finger at you, maybe. Probably, possibly. A lot of people. Yeah, am I going to name names? Autistic's Dangerous, that is the title of it, and there's some shocking stuff in there. I don't know, it may end up being my most important video, even more so than my songs. But again, this is a music channel, and we're here to talk about music today. Music is overwhelmingly in my life, has always been a deep part of it. At one point I had over 1,000 CDs, and it is far more important to me than it is to the average person. I think I proved that in the last one, and I will definitely prove it even more so in this video. So, 2 of my first songs, the very first one that I vocalized, the last episode. But what is the first song that I performed? Get ready. Back in the early mid-70s, my uncle gave my mother an electric organ. It was a Wurlitzer. I think it was a Model 4100.
Oh, wow. That was when Bill brought that down from Utah, huh?
Well, I had the organ. I had an organ there in Bill gave it to me when we were in that trailer.
It had an autochord function, a rhythm section, and a spring reverb, and a Leslie speaker. Kids would come over and they'd just flat-handed pound their keyboards and la 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 and flip knobs and levers and just go nuts. It was pure cacophony. I'd get so enraged at them, I'd chew them out and swat their hands down and show them this is how you play. They'd get mad and just la 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 la. I didn't think they were very smart. But one day there was a room full of adults, and I climbed up on the bench and turned the organ on, and I carefully flipped knobs and listened to the sounds and chose the rhythm and the speed and found the chords and...
Oh, good grief. You was probably maybe 3 or 4 years old? I think it was before you went to school, if I remember right.
All I remember is there was a room of adults, and it took me some time to get the sound just right because it didn't sound just like the radio. It drove me nuts because fake reeds, fake horns, fake piano and organ and everything. But it was the best I could do. Didn't sound like what I heard on the radio. You hushed the whole room. Do you remember what you said?
No, I don't.
You don't? He's playing the record of the Edmond Fitzgerald.
Oh. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember that now. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. I didn't think it was unusual. I mean, the other kids would come over and they'd just la 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 and drive me nuts. I didn't think it was very extraordinary that one would be able to play a song they heard on the radio. And this was a musical instrument, right? I thought all kids should be able to do that. I couldn't comprehend what was wrong with the other kids. They didn't even try. Just la 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 la. Now, if you're not too familiar with Gordon Lightfoot, and really I think everybody should be, he was one of the greatest is. He's still touring and in his mid-80s. Now, not everybody knows much about Gordon Lightfoot. I don't know why. He is one of the greatest songwriters ever. Bob Dylan inducted Gordon Lightfoot into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame back in 1986, and was inducted into the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame back in 2001, and then into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2012. In 2017, the CBC then listed Gordon as the 5th best Canadian songwriter ever. He has won 16 Junos out of 29 nominations and 5 Grammy nominations. He was made a Companion of the Order of Canada, Canada's highest civilian honor. If you haven't figured it out yet, he's Canadian. Bob Dylan called him one of his favorite songwriters, saying, "I can't think of any Gordon Lightfoot song I don't like. Every time I hear a song of his, it's like I wish it would last forever." And I tend to agree. Dylan also said, "Lightfoot became a mentor for a long time. I think he probably still is to this day. His music has been covered by Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams Jr., Jerry Lee Lewis, Neil Young, Barbra Streisand, Eric Clapton, Glenn Campbell, Jim Croce, and many others." I mean, the record of the Edmond Fitzgerald is actually a pretty long song. It's actually an amazing song because it is the exact same melody. Even the guitar solo is the melody, the same chords. There's no bridge, no chorus. It's several verses, and that's it. But you don't want it to end. That's good songwriting. I mean, when this song ends, I am still standing on the shore of Lake Superior, buffeted by the gales of November, listening to a lone church bell ring 29 times. Still gets to me every time. It was a song about a great tragedy. I mean, Gordon's wordcraft, his musical styling, just to keep playing the same melody over and over and over again, way longer than the average radio station wants to play a song for. How long is this? And keep you enraptured. If you've never heard this song, you have to go listen to it. I've got links below. The mystery, the tragedy, the intimacy of the storytelling. I doubt anyone can make it more personal than Gordon Lightfoot did. There are tons of videos out there of people reacting to this song and describing how fantastic it is. Again, like my first song, I mean, maybe not quite as big, but El Condor Pasa, oh wow, I had no idea it was so huge. But the record of the Edmund Fitzgerald is no slouch either. I mean, he wrote it. And yeah, I think there were legal battles over stuff concerning the song, but not rights. I mean, seriously, just sit down and read the lyrics alone. They are amazing. A true poet. But this was the first song that I played on a musical instrument. I still have electrical components from that organ. Mom gave it to me to tear apart when I was a teenager. I was also in electronics, one of those kids. I really wish I would have kept the organ hole, though. To this day, I want that organ. I don't know why. It was terrible, but it had a Leslie speaker inside of it. I mean, I still don't know what these things are. I think they're capacitors. I've never looked them up. Definitely resistor. So one day I was watching YouTube, watching a performance of Gordon Lightfoot doing the record of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and I just had to comment below that, this was the very first song that I performed. And Gordon responded. I wonder if I should do the same thing with If I Could. Maybe Paul Simon will respond. Gordon is a great guy. I mean, he's very down to earth. If you ever watch interviews of him or other people talking about him, he is not one of your stuffy shirts, Barbra Streisand, ego. I mean, she's got a fantastic, wow. I mean, Barbara's amazing, but the ego, terrible. Now, my music doesn't sound a lot like Simon & Garfunkel or Gordon Lightfoot. I mean, I don't do folk music. I wanted some folk music in there. I don't know why there's no country. I mean, I always kind of envisioned in my music something kind of like a Kid Rock, Pearl Jam, Band of Horses, Eagles, Southern fried rock kind of thing, along with all the synths, the new wave and the rock, pop, I listen to a lot of different styles of music, so I could easily see them blending into my music, and they do, but there's no folk, no country. For crying out loud, for a year and a half, I played Irish and Scottish music in a coffee shop. Not even that's in there, but their influence is definitely in my music. The passion, the humanity, the beauty, the dissonance, the tragedy, how musical instruments could be used to mold emotions, the feel and the flow of the songs. I mean, what they wrote and recorded were real songs. I mean, don't get mad, but I think a lot of today's music is not music. I got future episodes on that. I mean, for one, you don't hear bridges anymore, but then again, the record of the Edmund Fitzgerald doesn't even have a bridge or a chorus. You can do that sometimes, but all the time, I hummed music before I could speak. I played a song from ear before I ever even had a piano lesson. In my songs, you will find El Condor Pasa, or If I Could, and you will also find the wreck of the Edmond Fitzgerald. Songs about struggle, about loss, deep mystery and tragedy, the great things of life and death. It's all through my music. Poetry, at least as good as a poet as I can be. But I learned from these people. I mean, it's easy to see why this song caught my attention because, that's the first thing that I played on a musical instrument was this song. Just doing these videos, it struck me, I wonder if I should do a song kind of around these two songs. I'm not going to steal Gordon Lightfoot's song, but it's a sea shanty, so that, that was popular on TikTok a little while ago. But regardless, sea shanties are still great, especially the way Gordon Lightfoot did his. I mean, it's a real song. It's not like the sea shanties on TikTok. But yeah, incorporating these two and the stories of how they influenced me. And I probably will have the melody of El Condor Pasa just because, well, it's public domain, not Simon and Garfunkel's, the stuff they added. Working title is The Wreck of the Condor. I don't know what I'm going to call it. But as I ponder the death of the person who was supposed to be me, who I was supposed to be, and instead the life that I ended up living, that I ended up becoming, all my pains, all my struggles, the anger that wells up in me from all that loss, not knowing who I really was supposed to be, mining the reasons for my suffering, carrying those valuable oars, while I'm sailing across the sea of humanity with its nobody cares attitude. I mean, right there's the basis of that song. But yeah, El Condor Pasa was inspired by miners, and the Edmund Fitzgerald was carrying ore from a mine. But you put all that together, and it leads to something that I find very important, something that I was reaching for even as an infant before I even knew how messed up my life already was or how it was going to be. Totally messed up by you humans. Thank you very much. I mean, do I thank the man who brought about my existence or despise him for his ignorance? No, we're not talking about my dad. This is somebody else. My dad is my dad. If you can't tell from that video, wait till you hear about my life origin story in a future episode. I shouldn't exist. My mind is so broken. I mean, really, I don't even have any friends, and I can't even pick up a phone to call them or a doctor. And yet, in spite of all those heavy chains holding me down, that one element that I strove for, even as a toddler, was hope. Hope and happiness. Happy. Now that's something I forgot how to be. Yeah, there's a lot of negativity in my music. There's a lot of negativity in these commentaries, but deep down in all of this, my commentaries, my music, hope. That's what my life is based on. And you're going to see that in that 3-part series that's coming up. The brutal one. I am a man tied to the ground. As I look at so many around me soaring above, from my perspective, away, I'd rather sail away like a swan that's here and gone. And I give the world its saddest sound. And where does the love of God go when the waves of inhumanity turn my limits into showers? Tears, that is. My tears. Tears? Yeah. I live with hope for a better tomorrow, for change, for better future, joy, to finally one day meet those miners in Peru, the sailors of the Fitz, and to meet the real me. But now we're veering into my emotional beliefs, and this is getting me emotional. So we're going to end it there. Until I had prepared this episode, I had not realized how profound the very first song that I ever uttered was before I could speak. And the very first song that I played on a musical instrument. How both those songs would foreshadow my life and how my struggles would give me my amazing music. I can't wait to share it with you if I can figure out how to juggle that and these videos. So when will you hear my music? My struggles in song. I'm working on it. I've been working on getting a small batch of songs together to copyright so I can finally start showing you some of this stuff. I mean, just the background music, it's great, but no, all the other parts, I'm anxious to get it out. There's at least 2 songs I want to get copyrighted that go on the first EP, 2 of 5, plus some peripheral music. I still need to finish checking a music video I was filming last fall and winter. Not editing, checking, making sure I got all the takes that I need. Plus working on these commentaries. I have a ton of these commentaries, but I need to edit them. In fact, I think I'm going to start doing a lot of shorts because I just don't have time to do these long forms that I really need to also do. The day is coming closer, though. You're going to hear my music. What I need to do is get a benefactor, a philanthropist, a patron who will pay for everything so I don't have to work. You'll hear it sooner. I could actually hire people that could do the stuff that I dream of having a camera person, an editor, maybe a director, even a writer. I've written tons of stuff, but I still need it edited. After making these 2 videos on this topic, I realized that there is a lot more in this. So sometime in the future, I'm going to do another deep dive and expander on just how deeply these 2 songs, my first 2 songs, and others, tie into all of my mental issues. There's a lot I didn't cover here. Plus, I'm going to put out another video of all the extra material that I got from that interview with my dad, without my usual commentary, just him and I. Keep your heads up while we try to fix mine. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. The algorithm looks for that, and it really does help me out. Check out the links below. There are a bunch of amazing videos regarding this song, all down in the description. Watch out for scammers and trolls down in the comment section. Please leave a comment. What was the first song that you played on a musical instrument? And I'm always looking for suggestions. How do you think I'm doing on this channel? Do you like the content I'm covering? Do you like the way I'm doing it? Is there anything you can give me to help me with this brain? Or even your experiences with any of these sort of things? I mean, I got a genius brain, but there's a lot of this I can't figure out. I desperately need a new camera. You see how the light levels are going up and down? I'm using my cell phone. It's terrible. So please check out my shop at Sanoic Roots and get a t-shirt. There's all kinds of stuff down there. There's fridge magnets, duffel bags, or a case for your cell phone. You owe me anyway. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, and help me out. The algorithm watches all of that. Big Brother is here. Share this video on your own social media so you can get that warm, fuzzy feeling knowing you did right by me. Hope you found something in this video that you can use. Please be good to each other, especially us aliens. You are humankind. Practice both. Love ya. You be good now. You hear? See you next time.
Don't you think Dennis should be more appreciative? I mean, Professor Addie's always trying to be at the center of attention anyway. Without me, these videos would be just absolutely amateurish and boring because, as I'm sure you know, it takes a good eye.
Michael A. Smitty.
Yes, boss?